the ball move and to convert on all 7 of your first passes, just what does that do for your guys' confidence heading into Oregon, which obviously presents a lot of tough challenges like Ohio State?
We talked about it. I mean, we know we can compete with all these teams. We just got to execute, and we haven't been able to do that so far. So, once we figure that out, once it starts clicking and we start executing, which we've been saying since spring ball, so it's kind of frustrating, but, once we get over that hump, I think we'll be all right.
How do you handle, the emotional, mental side in a game when, fumble in the red zone, but there was a face mask which might have impacted your ball security, and then also to turn around and Jordan Turner might have, forced a fumble, but then it's overturned?
Control what you can control. There's not a lot you can do about it. And they didn't make the call. We didn't get the fumble. It is what it is, Got to keep battling. I think we did that in the first half. I think came out second half, came flat. Didn't compete like we should have competed. And they were up, but I think we still gave that game away. We could have competed way better than what we did. Win or loss, I think we should have fought a little harder.
When you got into Oregon State last year, how much was Oregon talked about as a rival?
Pretty often. It's the same here. We got a rival here too, and a lot of those dudes, they take this game personal, and honestly, I do too. I still do. Coming from where I came from, but I'm sorry, I'm done.
No, well, I was going to say too. Because it's weird in this era too. Not just you, but coach. It's something that's been ingrained in you guys, and then you shift. But how do you kind of maybe use that rivalry aspect in your mind to your benefit this week?
I go out there and play football like I do every other week. Got to prepare how you do. And just go out there and compete. At the end of the day, they're a good team. Go out there and compete. Our thing is, we try to win every play. And if we do that, we win the game. So go out there and compete, try and win every play and see what happens. Outcome is the outcome.
How close do you feel like being able to put it all together? Brian, was the stuff you were talking about. You see the flashes and, not that it's all on you, but just offensively that you're there.
Too close. You're talking about it right now. We see it. We see everything we need to do. We're driving the ball against the number 3 team in the country. I don't know what defense they were in. Number 3 in defense too. I don't know. But they're a good defense, and we're driving the ball. We know we can drive the ball. Now we just have to put it in the end zone. That's the biggest thing. Or just get points up on the board in general. Can't leave a drive without points. That's our biggest thing. And still got things to work on, things to fix. People go down. That also hurts, but. Overall, we know what we can do, and we just got to figure it out.
What's the biggest thing you learned about yourself so far this season?
That, it's a lot. I try to put a lot of pressure on myself to keep the energy up and keep the team going, but I have to realize that it's not all on me. I try to take that challenge and just be that leader just to be a leader for the entire team instead of, being a leader on offense and then having another leader on the defense. Just being able to just take a role in, okay, we have these guys, let's go do what we can with these guys, and let's go work. It's just being able to lead.
Hey, staying with that, we talked about your growth from freshman to sophomore. Talk about what your growth has been from week 1 to going into this Oregon game.
I think overall, I think I became, a lot more just calmer, I feel like last week, said start drop 7 for 7. I didn't even know that until right now, so thank you, appreciate that. But start drop 7 for 7. I felt a lot calmer in the pocket. They had a good D-line, and I still felt pretty good about myself. I felt good that I could just sit back there and make a throw. And I feel like the game's getting a little slower for me, like I wanted to work on. And it's still growing, still processing everything, but I feel like it's getting a lot easier for me.
What's helping with that? Just the experience of being out there?
I believe so, yeah. Just experience being out there every week, learning from what I did last week to now. This past week I threw a pick that I should have dirted it, got sacked, done something else. But got to learn from those. So I threw the ball away more. The other weeks I was trying to force things, didn't go my way. So just learning from my mistakes and trying to just play football how I know how to play football.
When your teammates say to you, hey, you've been out there, you've seen Oregon, what is that environment like? What are their players like? What do you tell them from firsthand experience? And do you see them being similar to Ohio State?
I think it's just, I come from the Pac-12. It's good football. It was good football in the Pac-12. And it's a loud environment, great environment to play in if you really want to play on a big stage. And It's a good team. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to compare them to any other team. I think they're themselves, and they continue to be themselves. But I think they're a good team, and we have to come out and compete just like we do every other week.
Is it a different environment than you've already seen at Maryland and Boston
Oh,
College?
for sure. Yes.
In
For
what
sure.
way?
It's loud. It's a lot louder than the schools we played at. Bigger stadium, I think, than both the schools, or more people, I believe. But yeah, you know, fans are really just in tune with the game, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
And do you have to do stuff different because of that volume? We saw last night it was difficult in Detroit for a team to even get a playoff.
I mean, yeah, maybe you have to go on silent count, you know, sometimes just to get the snap off. But overall, like playing-wise, I don't think we have to change anything. I think we just have to come out with our game plan and keep playing football.
Aidan, what did you think about the second half last week? When your first 4 drives, I'll get down to the red zone. You guys come on the second half and things get a little stickier there. What coming out that third quarter, what did you notice that changed?
I was frustrated, honestly. I was very frustrated because I feel like we had so much more fight in us, and we just didn't go out there and compete like we should have. I think this team is full of competitors, and we walked out there and basically laid an egg. That's how I felt about second half. Yeah, second half. I feel like first half we had their number. Like we could do a lot with that first half, and if we do that against any other team, I feel like we score. You know, it's a good team. We made our mistakes early, and thought we were gonna fix them in the second half, and it just didn't happen. And you know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes things don't go your way. So focus on getting better every week. Focus on scoring now. It is what it is.
Would you say the net confidence, you know, a loss is a loss, but the way you guys move the ball early, would you say there's a net boost in confidence, just having seen it, that you guys can do what you did early there, I guess?
I think we've always been confident that we can move the ball. I think it's the fact that that we did it against, you know, everybody's. I feel like, honestly, we were talking about it this week. Like it's a shock to everybody else that we can move the ball, but to us, like, we know we can do this. But we just have to do it. Like, and if we don't, we're proving everybody, or I guess we're proving everybody right. But you know, it is what it is. Like, people don't expect us to do much with the ball anyway. So go out there and move the ball on Ohio State. I guess that's good for us, but we have to do better in general, just overall, any team we play against.
What did winning a game like this do for you guys, both hitting the midpoint of the season and also the bye week to kind of go in with that?
Give us a good bye week. Yeah, we'd have you know, if we go out and play how we're supposed to play and win this game, you know, so, get a week off. I mean, you gotta feel good about yourself. So that's really all I can say right now.
What do you think the potential is of the offense if you guys can, you know, clean up the mistakes and improve just the execution from one guy to the next?
Go down Ohio State game, and how many drives do we have in the first half? You said 4?
4 went on. Your first 4 ended in the red zone. I think
Yeah.
the first half you might have 6 or something.
So we say we score all of those, it's 28 points. We in half leading the game. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, we know how many points we leave up on the board, and we just don't do it. So that could have been a whole different game if we just go down there and score. A lot of games, though, like a lot of games we finished that way. Boston College, we were in the red zone a few times, we didn't score. And, you know, certain things like that, they can hurt us. So that's the biggest thing that we're focusing on right now.
How have you adjusted in practice, I guess?
It's not really an addressing thing. We all know what the problem is. Not the problem in general. Like, there's no core problem.
Sure.
It's just we all know that we have to get in end zone. We want to get in end zone. And that's it. Like, as an offense, you want to score. So we're just going to come out there and keep competing until we score. That's really how it is.
You guys could have taken the points on that 4th and 1. Second time we've seen Jonathan go for it. I'm guessing you guys as an offense like that mentality, knowing that sort of you're going to want to push it and go for touchdowns as opposed to field goals, or not?
I mean, I'm not here to be conservative. I'm here to win games, and I think that's what we were trying to do in that point. We're trying to send a message, and I think if we went about it differently, it would have worked. But you know, we kind of scrambled into it and messed up a little bit. You know, didn't get everybody set all the way. So, but yeah, I mean, I love it. Like, I'm not tripping at all. I would do it 10 times again if I had the chance. So, really had no problem with the call. Just got to execute better.
You got off the ground after the fumble. Were you surprised you didn't see a flag? That guy got you pretty good. And what does that do to your ball security?
I mean, if you get your face mask pulled back, I mean, that's why it's a flag, because the ball your arm's naturally gonna flail out. So, the ball got punched out. I mean, I didn't get a flag. It is what it is. They didn't call it. I mean, you got to keep playing football. So.